You might want to buckle up, baby.
You're after something. Is it revenge? Money? Or is it something else?
If you come with us, you're in this life for good.
Why not?
Solo, a Star Wars story.
You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? Should I have? It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Kessel Run Weekly. My name is Danny.
And I'm Kristen.
And today, we have a lot going on. But first off, we want to introduce our special guest, Anna, at Lay Geeky Life on Instagram. Hi, Anna.
Hi!
So Anna is joining us as a super Star Wars fan. Absolutely loves Star Wars. You want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I'm a blogger. I mostly do everything Star Wars because Star Wars is life.
Oh, absolutely.
I also run a podcast called Roundtable Pod Racers. I've been doing a lot of like fashion trends. I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Vader fan.
Oh.
Obsessed with Vader.
I think you just found a best friend, Kristen.
Yay! So I'm super excited to talk about Solo today.
Awesome. Well, cool. So we are definitely excited as well. Because if you haven't guessed yet, guys, we are going to go through our spoiler-filled Solo episode.
Yes.
We have been waiting so long for this because it was so hard not to say any spoilers. If you guys listened to our last episode, I think there was probably like 5 or 6. I mean, you did really well, Kristen, but I was pretty sure that I almost slipped about 6 times. So.
I had to think about it a couple times because I'd be like, "Oh, I really want to tell y'all about this," but I couldn't. I had to be really quiet and patient.
But now
I
is
don't
the
know how
time.
you do it.
It was very difficult because we went through and we planned that episode and everything. We're like, oh yeah, it'll be just like a regular one, and like ended up like 10-20 minutes shorter than they normally are. It was like, it was really great, guys.
It's awesome.
Go see it. But no, the time has come, and we are going to spoil Solo. We are going to talk about all the awesome things that happened in Solo. So if you have not seen the movie, don't spoil this for yourself. You will ruin the movie for yourself. But yeah, so before we get into Solo, there was a little bit of Star Wars news that came out this week.
Yeah.
Which personally I'm extremely excited about. Because I love story and lore and all this other kind of stuff and everything. And so, Anna, with you being in Orlando, I'm jealous, by the way.
Well, I'm in Miami, but I'm almost there.
You're closer than we are.
Let's say you're a lot closer than we are. So
You're closer than we are, but Walt Disney World recently had Galactic Nights, which you and I were talking about before the show, how they did that around Celebration. It was a little underwhelming and everything. It was just kind of like, cool, little extra Hollywood Studios or whatnot. But they released some cool stuff about Batuu, Galaxy's Edge, for Galactic Nights, which was really awesome. So we got the names of the locations that we'll be visiting within Batuu and everything. So the first one being Black Spire Outpost, which was... Yeah. I'm telling you, you're twins.
yes, yes, girl.
But so Black Spire Outpost, which is really cool because, again, warning, spoiler, it was mentioned in Solo by L3, which is really cool, and that's something that we'll talk about in the spoiler-filled review and everything. Yes, L3 is awesome. But yeah, so it was mentioned in Solo, so that's really cool. Bakar Spire was another one, which is Hondo's spaceport, base of operation. I cannot wait to see Hondo in the park.
I can't wait. That is something like all the animation, give it to me. I am so there. Like, just take all my money.
Exactly. Just a little chopper running around, like just a little bit of everything. Like, give it to me.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
And then on top of that, they added a ancient ruins part as well that they revealed to us, which is supposed to be, well, the tag says that might be a good location for the hideout of the Resistance, but it's a hideout for the Resistance. They're hiding in the mountains, pretty much in the ruins. Very reminiscent of Yavin 4 in Return of the Jedi and everything. So that's in A New Hope. I got that wrong. Wow. Very reminiscent of A New Hope.
Could have fooled me. I was looking just like, yeah. I was agreeing. I had no idea.
Both of you were.
Sorry, I was just thinking, like, I want to see Hera right there.
Yes.
That's what I was keeping in my mind.
Anna was in a different world altogether.
She was daydreaming. It's fine.
She was like, and Hera, and Ezra, and Sabine, and Ahsoka. Oh, goodness. But yeah, so I love all this information that we're getting about Galaxy's Edge and everything, because I think out of all Star Wars, I am most excited for that. Being able to literally step into Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's better than just sitting on your couch watching a TV show, I guess. But
when you can be part of the TV show,
right.
Absolutely. What do you think?
And I mean, I know they were talking about that in the hotel, and they give you like a jacket or something that you can wear through the parks with whatever you decide to be. So I'm like, yes, I'm hoping we can keep it.
Right.
So, because that would be awesome.
right.
Oh, that'd be so great. Come with the price of admission.
$800.
Right. I'm just so excited for that to happen. And recently, too, we got the, it's not at exact dates, but the seasons of opening for Galaxy's Edge, with it being in Disneyland, California first.
Always.
Yeah, always. That's where they test it all out first, which I heard it's going to be bigger there. But it'll be the spring of 2019. And then summer 2019, and then Disney World will be late fall. So they're thinking probably like October, November-ish kind of time frame. So that'll be fun. I'm really excited about that.
So far away.
It's so far away.
I know. So I guess we'll go to Celebration and then go over there.
I'm telling you, 2019 is our year.
Are you like we're just gonna spend all the money in Star Wars?
well, the poverty rate has gone up. I don't know why. Oh wait, Star Wars year long. I'm excited because 2019 is Star Wars Celebration, then opening Galaxy's Edge again, and then ending the year with Episode 9, closing out the whole saga. So, man. Oh, I'm so excited.
When are we getting the shows?
The shows, Resistance should be coming out this fall. Should be coming out this fall, so...
Okay, I didn't know if they fell into the 2019 or not.
Oh, no. That's the pregame for everything.
Okay. So they should have
that's when it's like, okay, here you guys have something wild.
Exactly. We're just gonna kind of whet your appetite just a little bit and slam you with 2019.
Right.
So. But yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I'm very excited about it for sure. I don't know a Star Wars fan that's not excited about it, so...
Probably those people that just need all the recent movies.
We're going to have to talk about that, too. So cool. So I think we've held off long enough. It's time to dive into Solo. Because I can't wait to just talk about this openly now. Like I feel like I've just been holding it in.
I feel like I just need to yell something, but I can't. I can.
I know. I still feel that I can't talk about it.
Right. Well, it's funny too, because like even in where I work and everything, like I mean, I work with a bunch of nerds, and so it's like I'm the one that goes and sees them opening weekend and everything, and they're just like, oh, of course Danny went and saw it and everything. Because we've already seen it twice too in the first couple days. So yeah,
like that Thursday and Friday.
It was kind of good, but yeah. So but no, at work, like I'm sitting here talking to somebody who's seen it and everything, and then somebody walks by and I get really quiet. It's almost like, oh, have you seen it yet? I don't want to spoil it for you. It's like all of a sudden you go in like secret mode, like, oh man, you can't know.
Well, it's too good to spoil. I felt like it's not something you want to just yell out and like ruin it for people, because it's such a good twist and surprise that I was like,
exactly.
Like, you don't want it, like somebody else just to hear it from your mouth and not see it. It was just too good to see, I think.
Definitely. So straight into spoiler territory for Solo. So fair warning, spoilers, and more spoilers. So come back later if you're watching this now. Spoiler filled will be in the title of this, so I don't know what you're doing here if you haven't seen it yet
Right.
anyways. But hey.
You're just trying to ruin your own life.
But yes, all are welcome. So, into Solo. I want to start with first impressions. Anna, you want to start us off?
Okay, so my first impression was like, it's dark. So I was like, those couple of minutes, I'm like, what is this? I was very surprised, but I was also surprised by the fact that I did love Alden as Han.
You caught it too.
Yeah, I was like, wow, he's doing a really good job. And then my first impression was all three I loved. Memphis Nest is my next cosplay. I need this in my life. I'm just like, okay, I had some little issues with certain things, but then I was like, oh, Lando's here, so he makes everything better. So that's pretty much like my roller coaster of ideas in the first couple minutes.
That's awesome. Kristen, what'd you think?
I loved it. I'm pretty much agreeing with Anna there. Like, we talked about in our spoiler free that, I think we pretty much said that we thought Han, like the way Adam played Han was really well. Like, I didn't feel like I was watching Adam. I felt like I was watching Han Solo. Like, it was great. Like, he did a really good job, and loved L3 as well. Memphis Nest, I think it's going to be an awesome cosplay. I was totally thinking that too. I was like, it's just a matter of time for somebody does it. And I can't wait to see it because it's going to be so awesome.
We just need to see an army of Memphis Nest at Celebration.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Let's do it, Kristen.
Yes! We'll figure something out. I'll be like your little baby or something in the background. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
She'll be the one pushing the cloud bike behind you.
Right.
You have more of a hair than me, so it works out.
That's true.
It's true.
And you got the freckles too.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you're
hers were
almost
like
there.
crazer though than mine. Hers was like way
I used to
darker.
have. I don't. I'll have to put on.
Mine were like on my arm more so than anywhere. Like my arm and my, and my body, but not so much my face. But it's okay. But yeah, overall, Solo was a win for me.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. It was definitely a win for me. I've been seeing reviews and hearing things of people like saying that it started off clunky, it started off slow, it was a little weird paced and wasn't that great. The funniest thing I've seen so far is that I saw an article, I think it was CNET or CNN, somebody calling the Solo movie a flop. Because it didn't make 100 million on its first weekend. It made 85 million. So, so unsuccessful.
Oh, darn.
Like, they were citing, like, a Star Wars fatigue is set in and stuff. I'm like, come on. Like, this movie had notorious problems coming out of the gate and everything. And for it to turn out the way it did is extremely impressive. I'm very impressed with it. But I loved it. I agree with you guys. Alden landed Han. At not one point was I going, but is he Han? Or anything like that.
Maybe he's too short.
But yeah. But in all that, I never questioned if it was Han Solo. Like, he was Han Solo. He embodied the character perfectly. Lando is life. Donald Glover freaking killed it. Like, Donald Glover's already one of my favorite actors, but I mean, he was amazing as Lando for sure.
Yeah.
I loved the whole Sabacc card game, the whole thing down, and then getting to find out the whole Sabacc Han, Han and Han.
Han boy.
Yeah. It was just, like, there was so much fan service to it that, I mean, I was smiling the whole way through. There were moments where I could have literally sucked the air out of the room. I was gasping so loud.
He did. It cracked me up, and I think I said this in the spoiler-free one, too. Like, as soon as it came up, it was like, saying, like, Solo, a Star Wars tale, and there was, like, a galaxy far away, and the first thing said, in a lawless time, and Danny was like, and I was like, what? There's nothing happening! The screen is still black!
The black screen.
Yes, in a lawless time. I literally had to, like, hide my face and just, like, giggle to myself, because I literally, there was so many people in the theater, too, and nobody else had this reaction but Danny, and I was like, why? But why?
I get excited. I can't help it.
I guess it was like all the adrenaline just rushing at the same time because it was like
Finally.
starting. It was just like,
Right. I had to let some of it go somewhere for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely had those moments too where like the moments where like you see now in the, well, I guess not now in the movies, but you know, in the older movies where you see that Han and Chewie relationship and like when they touched each other's shoulders, I was like,
Yeah.
It just means so much.
it does. It means so much more. Like those moments now when you go forward and watch those older movies, like it's just going to mean so much more to me because you see that relationship grow and that bond. And you're just like, I can't take it.
I know. And the thing is that the movie, for me, it was, everything happened so fast. Like, it's a fast action movie. So you had no chance to think, is Alden really Han? Is Lando really, like, good? Like, Donald Glover is good. And I mean, I love Childish Gambino because I love hip-hop. So I'm like, I need him in my life. So, you can't, like, there's too much going on and it's like one thing after another, so you don't have, like, it's either you're watching it or I don't know what you're doing.
Right, exactly. Like the movie leaves literally no time to even just think about something.
No.
Like it's hit and hit and hit. I mean, it's Fast and Furious, a Star Wars story. Right?
It kind of is. You looked over at me at one point and missed like one of the scenes where something flew off the Falcon.
It was the satellite dish.
Yeah.
When classically in just about every movie, the Falcon loses its satellite dish, and I just happened to look over and go, "Oh, this is that part when," and she was like, "You missed it."
I was trying to look over too, but then I saw something fly, and I was like, "What just flew? What just flew?" Because like the whole time up this movie, we were like, we noticed the Millennium Falcon how it had the little pod in it. We were like, "But the pod's not in it." And like the older movies, we're like, it disappears at some point. Like, what was it? Like we were theorizing like what happened, and so that scene, we were both just like, "Well, I was glued to it," and Danny was trying to like tell me stuff. I'm like, "Shut up! Shut up!
I got no time for this right now."
Right? I'm watching a movie.
We literally did not have time for that.
No, it's just from the beginning. It's just crazy.
Absolutely,
crazy fast.
Yeah. Did you feel any issue with the pacing issue that everybody's been talking about?
I did not.
Okay.
My issues were more like it felt like I still needed something more.
Okay.
So I needed a little bit. I don't know if it's also because I love the whole Jedi Sith, which obviously we'll get to after. But I don't know if it was missing like the Force something in the beginning.
Okay.
That's kind of was. But then I was like, okay, but this is not that story.
Right.
And obviously I love every animation that Star Wars has made. So I was like, I'm okay with like just going with seeing a story. And then I started enjoying it more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
Right.
And to your point, like, I think this is, I mean, we got a lightsaber igniting. We got a lightsaber igniting. We didn't see the Force or anything like that. Like we have, I think, in every movie, even Rogue One, when Vader was going ham in the corridor, like, we got the Force. And so I could see where you're coming from, because, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't have time to think about it in the movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, it was definitely different. And it's the first one, too, that R2 and C-3PO were not in.
I know. And I was just waiting to see like a little cameo everywhere. Right? And it was just like, oh, it did not happen.
Right.
Well, you found out, too, that Anthony Daniels was still in the movie.
Yeah, he voiced...
It was the black protocol droid that got run over in a chase.
We guessed that. We didn't...
I'm pretty sure that was it.
It probably is, honestly, but we figured that, but we don't know exactly. But he's in the credits, like, well...
He's credited for ADR in it, so yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to look today if Hamill did any voice.
I didn't see him in the credits for any of that, yeah.
I know he did a couple in The Last Jedi, so I was like, I wonder. But...
Right? I'm just going to go ahead and mine everything. Definitely. So what did you think about the meeting between Han and Chewie?
I loved it. I thought that was like... At the beginning, I thought there was going to be more Lando than Chewie, but then I kind of appreciated that there was so much Chewie in the movie.
Oh, yes.
So their interaction and how they met was like one of my favorite things throughout the movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So I love how Chewie's like looking all dirty and like crazy, and then But Han's being himself, and it's like, oh, I need to get away, but here, help me. Let's go together.
Famously talking his way out of everything.
Right.
And I loved how he's able to like talk his language, which we kind of have never seen before. I was like, I appreciate that. That was so funny, but cool.
There were a couple of interviews that we had watched where Alden was talking about how he had to learn Treewook, I think is what he called it. Was the language.
Like
Just seeing it in action was hilarious.
It was.
I absolutely loved that. I was so just sucked in from the beginning. I didn't put together that the Beast even might be Chewie.
No,
to be honest,
I didn't either. I was like, oh god, what's about to happen? What is like? We've seen some
like
pretty
a
big
Rancor.
beasts, right? Like, we've seen some pretty big monsters in this movie so far. Like, what is this?
I mean, it could have been the Borgullet too. So
No, forgot. I mean, and those are the moments that people so much are hating that, oh, it's catered to the fan. But then at the same time, yeah, it's like you're getting fans that are like EU fans that are getting those stories slightly changed because he did see him in the expanded universe from slavery. So it's kind of like the same. Yeah. So I really appreciated how they took that. Okay, here, fans from all around, there's some little stories for you. Right.
Absolutely. There was a lot of fan service in this film, and that's something that in looking at different discussions since the movie's come out and everything, that's kind of blown my mind because I think you had said you found something online when you were looking through a discussion post where somebody was saying something to the effect of when Lucasfilm wises up or Disney wises up and gives people what the fans what they want, and the Kenobi movie and all this other kind of stuff, and the first thing I thought of, I was like, but they did though, because Solo was just a giant fan service. Like there was an Easter egg here, a reference here, and everything. Like my first viewing, I'm sure, like watching it the second time, I missed so much the first time around because I was looking for those things. Like I was geared in, like, oh, who's here, exactly. And everything.
Right.
And that's the thing, like so many fans complain, oh, The Last Jedi changed so much. And then they give you what you want, and then you're still complaining. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, nowadays with social media, it's so crazy. Like, you're not going to be able to please anybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you enjoy anything.
It your way.
Yeah. I mean, if you enjoy anything, then you're wrong. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and to all that and everything, like, I don't know. Like, I can see where some people had some issues with the film and things like that. I personally did not take issue with the film at all. I felt like it was great. I really felt like I was in like a really action-packed like Rebels or Clone Wars episode, to be honest, because a lot of the scenes read like almost kind of like episodes, which was really cool. The Last Jedi had that a little bit in its pacing, but not to this degree where, I mean, I don't know. Just it's hard to compare the two movies.
Yeah, they're completely different.
They're completely different. Like you've got one that's like super philosophical, and then bang bang shoot, just pure action.
Right.
So yeah, another one. So I want to talk about Lando and Han, and their relationship. Kristen,
the best.
Yes. Kristen, what did you think?
I loved their relationship. It was so funny because I don't know, it was like two guys that had their heads were too big to fit their helmets, almost kind of like bumping heads. Like they both thought they were like the superior guy, and neither one could like, like not necessarily bow down, but they both had the same like arrogance, I guess, in a way. So I really enjoyed that because they did knock heads a lot. He was like, I just keep thinking about their like interactions, and it's funny. I'm sorry, but I loved it.
I loved it. All came to a head to where when they were on Savareen, and Han went and put his arm around him, and Lando looks at him and goes, "I hate you," and he goes, "I know."
I love that. I was like, yes. I mean, they're two little kids. And even though I'm like thinking, yeah, Lando is retired and is like just enjoying his life. And then this guy comes in there and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm better than you. What are you going to do about it? He hates it. And it's still like, oh no, I'm better.
Right,
I loved it.
Yeah, they both had that attitude because you had Lando that's like everything about me is true, and then you got like Han over there that's like I'm the best pilot in the galaxy. Like so they both had.
Who's gonna pilot? Right here.
Right. So you had both guys there that were like I'm the best. No, I'm the best, but I'm the best. So kind of fighting over that spotlight, but it was really enjoyable.
Oh, definitely. L3. I know both of you love L3. L3 was not a favorite for me. I liked her. K2SO still holds that spot for me. But
Okay.
but L3, I want to hear what you guys thought. Anna?
I loved her. I mean, the fact that there's a female droid, I'm like, yes. I love she was so sarcastic. I love that this is the way they brought all the political, because obviously Star Wars does that all the time. But it felt like it felt nice. Like it felt like it was nicely done. It wasn't just do it there because let's do it there. Yeah. I loved her interaction with Lando. I was like, I'm already falling in love with Chopper, but I didn't see how it was like a connection, like boyfriend and girlfriend with Lando and L3. And I was like,
Right.
I loved the scene where she's rescuing all the droids and just like for the rebellion, like kind of like her moment. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah, she was awesome. I totally agree. I agree with there was obviously a little bit of political kind of agenda there, but it was very clean, which I really appreciated. It wasn't anything that was uncalled for. Like, it was very to Star Wars. Like, it wasn't out there. But I loved how she was so, like, free-minded, and she wasn't like any of the droids that we've really seen, and plus she was female, which was amazing. She built herself, so that's even cooler. And just the fact, like, like, anytime you see, C-3PO or R2-D2, like, they're always kind of taking orders, and she just didn't take orders. Like, she didn't care. So, I really love that about her freedom and stuff, and how she was so, like, for the cause, even though she really didn't know what it was at first, other than kind of freeing droids. Like, she just wanted, equality. So, but I love it.
I love that. Can I get you anything? Equal rights.
I loved it.
That was something that I thought was really cool to the story. Because, I mean, in all the years that I've been watching Star Wars, I never considered droid rights. Like, almost like... I kind of question myself, like, should I be a bad person for not considering that? But I'm like, you just kind of accept that the droids are machines and they're there to help. And I mean, even though, like, R2, I mean, like, he's the hero of Star Wars, you just don't consider it. I think R2's probably the most free that we've seen up until now and before L3. Because he's about as sassy as it comes, other than Chopper.
I'm about to say, don't forget K2. We got a line here.
Well, even K2 though, he's bound to his master because he apologizes to Cassian when he slaps him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, get back to the ship.
And he has the walk, and that's something I loved about L3. He has so much sass.
Yes.
She had that little walk that was like, she got it. She
had the whole hip action. It was
I love
great.
that walk. I had to like stare at it the whole time because it was just like, it was funky. Like I couldn't get with it, but it was awesome at the same time. I was like, what's happening?
Definitely.
And I love that she, like, I cry. I never had cried so much about a droid, like, dying. But I cried, but I loved how they made it like she's part of the Falcon. Because we always thought like, look, the Falcon has its own mind. And now it's like, no, but it's L3. And it makes it so much better.
Exactly, yeah. I thought that was so cool because, and that's another thing that I've seen people have been taking issue with, and I'm just like, come on. But like, it goes back to A New Hope where C-3PO is plugged into the Falcon, and he's like, your ship has the most peculiar language. And so it's like those little nods of, that's why. And then every once in a while, for some reason, the hyperdrive will be disabled or something crazy will happen, and it's L3 showing sass.
Yep. So I thought that was clever.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't see that coming at all.
Nope. There was so much of this movie that I did not see coming. And I really appreciated that. And that's what made me like put away all my little issues. And it's like, no, enjoy it because those plots were like great.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something that we talked about on the last episode, is that, I mean, as much as any of us fans would like to say that, oh yeah, Star Wars is perfect and it's the best ever and all, it's its imperfections that give it that charm and everything. Excuse me.
Blah, blah, blah.
No movie is perfect. No Star Wars movie is perfect. But I love that about Star Wars. Our dog has decided to become part of the show. But I mean, like, it's just, that's part of it for me, is seeing those things, and because it also leaves room for those cool explanations and things like that. Your ship has the most peculiar language. I've been from one end of this galaxy to another, and I've never seen a destiny that all-knowing force, all this other kind of stuff. Like, it's the little things that tie everything together. Because, I mean, you've got these Marvel movies, and you've got these big events and everything where everything's connected and all this other stuff, but it's all in this really, really big way. And so it doesn't necessarily make a universe, it makes a storyline, a comic book, if you will, basically. It's like picking up a trade paperback and going, oh, that's how the story ends. Which, not to knock those, I love those movies, but with Star Wars, it gives that kind of charm to where it's those little thorough lines that build a universe, that build that galaxy far, far away. And I feel like Solo did that amazingly.
Yeah, I mean, to the fact that you hear, was it Beckett or Voss saying Aura Singh, and then you're like,
oh, yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, Lando mentioned it to Beckett, yeah. He was like, oh, you're the one that killed Aura Singh. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I love those things, because it's like, there's different kinds of fans, and I've noticed by talking to other people online.
Mm-hmm.
But I love, for me, this is what makes the movie way better.
Absolutely.
Those little things.
Right. And to me, it's not name-dropping or unnecessary. It's the little things that give it life. Acknowledging different things that happen, which, I mean, the death of Aura Singh, that's not anything huge cinematically. She shows up in Phantom Menace for like half a second. But for those who know and have seen her in Clone Wars and Phantom Menace and everything, and know that she's a bounty hunter, like the backstory of it, it's just a little nod of, I see you.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it.
It's just showing like how connected it all kind of is, I guess, without it being like in your face.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. Back with L3 though, I did want to say one thing before we move on from her. I loved the scene where she was cutting open the gate. I can still feel you looking.
You can't perform while you're watching.
She was just amazing.
Yes.
Oh, that stance. She's like bent down knees with like her hips kind of out. Like I was dying. It was so funny.
That and with I think Lando's in love with me. Well, how would that work? Oh, it works.
Yeah.
It works.
He's just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I thought L3 was handled very well. I did want to ask you, Anna, one thing that I noticed as a comment online was a lot of people were upset with the way she was handled, basically saying that in the end of her story, she was enslaved, essentially. So her whole thing was to be equal rights and free and everything, and then she's put into a ship, never to be free again. So, but
I saw it the other way. I saw it that, okay, we're not going to throw you away as they do with other droids or I'm thinking cars, like sell parts for, you know. No, she's able, like, I saw it as a beautiful thing, like, okay, you're connected to one of the ships that I love the most, and you're just going to fly around the galaxy, like, and do good. Because at the end of the day, we all know that Han Solo is a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
So, Orlando at the end of the day. So I just thought, like, oh, be free, have a purpose, continue your purpose in life.
Oh, yeah.
So I hated those comments. I'm like, I saw it the opposite way.
Exactly. Yeah, we
girl,
did too.
like, you should listen to me.
Exactly. Yeah, so I completely agree with you because, I mean, the Falcon is my all-time favorite ship in Star Wars. Like, nothing tops it. I love that she's almost the reason, I mean, she kind of just is the reason that it's the fastest ship in the galaxy, because she can plot the best horses and everything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like even in when they were in the Kessel Run and everything, and out near the mall, it was cool that they were like, "Oh, we're on the edge of the map. Well, this isn't charted," and all of a sudden, L3's like, "No problem, chart."
And I love that it's a female pilot.
Yes.
I love that because as a person that is a car enthusiast and can drive better than most guys I know, I was like, yes, thank you.
Absolutely. No, I definitely thought that was really cool and everything. Also, I guess before we move on really to another major character, I wanted to ask what you thought of Val and Rio. We didn't get much time with them.
Val, I kind of got upset that she didn't get a lot of time.
Yeah.
That was like one of my issues because I loved her in Westworld.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that's it. And kind of like her death was like so like, oh yeah, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Rio, I was like, oh, he's so sweet. But I didn't really connect to the character, so it didn't really bother me as much. Or like, I was just like, okay, I understand why it happened because if Val wouldn't have died, then we don't see Beckett kind of like transitioning to the guy that punched Han Solo.
Yeah.
So I understood then why it happened.
Yeah. Well, and see, that was one thing that I was thinking about is, so if Val had lived, I love doing the theory stuff. If Val had lived, would Beckett have ended up where he did in the end? Being the one who betrays Solo or betrays Han and goes through and turns him over to Dryden, all that kind of stuff. Would Val have allowed something like that? So that's one thing that I wish I knew more about her. Because I mean she's awesome, obviously, at what she does. I don't know if you've ever played Overwatch, but she reminded me of Widowmaker, just kind of all over the place, sniper kind of thing. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, go on then. I loved Rio though, but I like the alien characters and the goofy ones like that. Especially when Han calls him out and he's like, okay, Imperial Trooper, I just saw both of your arms fall out and blow up your pants. So, I really loved Rio and I really hated that he had to go. But again, to your point, it was one of those, okay, I see why, because Han had to have a reason to jump in the pilot seat. So.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, wait. Solo? How that came out to be the last name?
Do what now?
The Solo last name?
Oh, yes.
I was kind of upset about that.
I was like, really? Is that what it is?
Yeah. I was like, so the Empire named Han Solo, essentially? I was like, I was kind of wanting a little bit more than that, but that's fine, I guess. He got his name, so...
Yeah.
I was like...
Yeah, I did not see that coming. I was like, oh, that is surprising.
Yeah. Well, when he paused and everything for his when they were like, oh, what's your last name? And he's like, who are your people? And Han still wasn't saying anything. He's like, I don't have any people. He's like, most creative Imperial officer in the world, Solo.
Right.
And I was just like, okay.
For me, it's funny because I'm Colombian, so like my first language is Spanish, and my mom would always bother that's the guy that's alone. And then I'm like, my mom was right.
There you go.
It's Solo. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I was very surprised about that.
She had it pegged from the beginning.
Right.
He works for Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how much the Empire, not necessarily made Han who he is, but was an influence in his life. Because I think that it was the EU. He was an actual TIE fighter pilot. I think I'm not up on the EU at all. It's what I've heard. But I think he was a TIE fighter pilot and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was cool that he still joined the academy. Was like, oh, I'm going to be the best pilot ever. Then ends up in the mud because he can't follow orders. Mind of my own.
Right.
And everything. I thought that was really cool. And it kind of was a flashback for me to Finn and everything. The same kind of looks that he had on his face and all that kind of stuff with Finn. And so it's cool seeing how he likely related a lot more than we thought he did in Force Awakens to Finn.
That is true. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. So he's seen the tyranny of the Empire firsthand in more than one way, personally, and then So I don't know. Like I think that's really cool to dive into and everything. We're gonna actually be rewatching the entire series and everything here soon, kind of relating it to Solo. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Nice.
Because I saw part of Empire the other day, and it was Han and Lando going back, and I'm just sitting here going, ah.
Yeah, I actually watched parts of it before watching the movie, so I was like, huh.
Right. So definitely. What did you think of Kira?
I mean, Mother of Dragons, I love
Hey.
her. I love the plot twist of her character.
Mhm.
Even though Leia is my favorite character of whole Star Wars. So I was kind of upset that, that was a relationship, because I don't really watch a lot of trailers or stuff because I don't want to see anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, why did they have to be together? Like, did he become this guy because he went out to look for her? Like, no, you're only with Princess Leia. But then I kind of love to see her transition, because I knew something had to happen. I mean, we see after Solo just being with Princess Leia, so I knew there was something. I just didn't expect to be this. I thought she was dying.
Right.
I was like,
right.
oh, she's gonna be dead.
Yeah. Well, do you
But-
remember what your theory was? With the it was the skate pod when we were talking about that in the episode.
Oh, yeah. When we were trying to figure out what happened on the Millennium Falcon with the escape pod, I was saying maybe he, like, they were in a tough situation where, like, he possibly could have died or something, and, like, he dropped her in the escape pod in order to get her out because he loved her. But obviously I was wrong.
Well, and so I think that's interesting, though, because, I mean, and you brought up Leia with that as well. Star Wars is still keeping that trend of destroying the damsel in distress. Like, these women don't need no man.
Right.
And that's the thing is, I think that Kira was more diabolical than was actually let on in the movie. Because if you kind of look and everything, like, you can even tell in her looks when he kisses her in the amazing cape room and everything, and, like, all of that, it's not the same Kira as when he left.
Right.
The love in her eyes is not there. And
No.
you can tell she's hiding something. And there's
Yeah,
something
there
that
was
is not
something.
being said. And that's what I loved of how she played that character, because she didn't have to say anything. She just said, if you knew what I've done, you wouldn't feel the same. And he was like, oh yeah, totally, I would.
It's also fun in the war. It's okay.
Right. But I thought that was really cool that, I mean, even though she didn't have many lines and not this whole monologue of I am the way I am because of whatever and I'm not Snoke and all that kind of stuff.
But she did have a great fight scene.
She did. Oh my
That
goodness.
I
that
was
awesome.
like, yes, because I love fight scenes.
I loved that pose.
So excited about that.
Yes. I love the pose when she was fighting with the sword and just on the ground. Like, that was picture. I want a poster of that because that was so cool looking.
Right.
But yeah, I loved how she played her character. I honestly feel like Kira had it planned from the beginning. She had the end from the beginning. And she
Right.
knew that this was the goal because she did just enough to get Han in the spotlight to where he thought he wanted to be and everything, to get him out of the way so she could take down Dryden the way she wanted to, and then boom. I love that she was like, you always talk about others' weakness, well, I'm yours. So,
No, and there was no remorse. And she acted fast. She was like, oh, you're leaving, peace out, I'm gone.
yep.
I'm
Right.
gonna contact this guy and I'm just gonna leave.
Yep. Yeah.
She didn't think about it twice.
Oh, not
so
at all.
it was very evil.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's definitely done some things. This is not her first kill. But I it was heartbreaking to me when Han was leaving, where he was like, "You're coming with me," and she just kind of. It was almost like kid-like the way she did it. It's like, "Don't worry, I'm coming. I'll be right
Yeah.
behind you," and everything. And it was just like, man. Because, like, I mean, obviously he fell for it, but at the same time, like, I feel like part of him knew that it wasn't happening, so.
But I love that they showed that side of Han Solo, which he's still very immature.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want him to get serious, but on the end, like, really serious, because we still see him in A New Hope being that immature, that guy that really didn't have that purpose in his life. So I really appreciated that he was still like naive, like, bro, you serious? Like, she's not coming with you.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Exactly. It was really neat seeing that side of Han through Kira and everything. Seeing that at one point he was hopeful. One of your favorite lines in the whole thing that I've got a good feeling about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, at what point did that turn to I've got a bad feeling? When did that optimism become pessimism? And this is the start of that, I believe. But it was really cool seeing all that.
It is, and the whole time, I wanted to have the best for Kira. Like, I just wanted her to, like, be with Solo. But I knew, obviously, like we said, Princess Leia's, with Solo. So, it doesn't really happen. But I just wanted the best for him, and so. But Beckett was calling it, like, the entire time. I was like, you still don't see it, do you? Like, trust nobody, because nobody's got your back, essentially. Mm-hmm. And that's what I thought. I was like, kind of mind blown, like, because I just didn't see it like the first go around. Like, second, like after it was all over, I was like, man. And then watching it a second time, I was like, she is evil. Oh, I was like, she is evil. I was like, she definitely had this like planned out the entire time. Mm-hmm. Like, she knew what she was doing through this entire movie, and I was just
she is
like,
highly intelligent, and she was planning the entire time.
Yeah.
So
maybe she could give Palpatine a run for her money.
Beckett called it.
Beckett did call it.
She's not the woman you know.
Yeah, it was like a double turn though. That was the funniest thing, because it was like the whole time he's talking about don't trust anybody, and we're like, oh yeah, he's probably talking about Kira. Oh, it's Beckett. Oh wait, no, it is Kira. Hold on.
Wait, no, but it's Beckett.
I love that. I love the plot twist. Even like with one of my favorite characters, Enfys Nest. And we didn't see so much, but it wasn't necessary. Like, that's what I was talking to somebody today. I'm like, it wasn't necessary to see so much, because if we had seen much more, I think we would catch it before. Yeah. Like, we would have caught that, because she just came and we hated it. Oh, annoying. Like, let's get out of here. Pirates is like another hundo, which I love hundo, but they're annoying. Yeah. And then her taking off her helmet, face mask, whatever you're going to call it. It was just like, whoa.
Yes.
Who is this little girl? And then when she was telling her story, and then you see Weasel and the guy with Saw Gerrera, and you're like, wait, what is this? I just, like, that moment for me made the movie.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, I'm on board.
Definitely. Right? I wanted so much more of her, but like you said, like in the case of Enfys Nest, I agree with you. Less was more, because that reveal. I mean, obviously, it takes you back to Return of the Jedi with Leia in the Bausch uniform and everything. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. But like, I didn't expect to, like, literally, she's a kid, right? And I was just like, okay, wow. Especially after seeing her fight on the train. Oh my gosh.
I was even more impressed the second time watching it, because, like, we kind of thought maybe she was a woman, and after watching the movie the second time with that fight, I was just like, holy crap, this girl's got skills. Like, what has she been doing?
Definitely. I felt like the movie really, like, even though it wasn't focused, because obviously it's Han's movie, it wasn't focused around the women in the movie, they really showed out. Like, I thought they did a really good job with them. I was very impressed. And I love that Star Wars keeps pushing that envelope on that.
Right.
Yeah. And they've been pushing it since the beginning, which is something that I've told people 100 times. I'm like, look at Leia. The movie starts with her. But I did love her. And I think one of the things that I was, like, writing down, because I was like, I don't want to forget anything, is that I really appreciated how she made Han, I can't even say it anymore, Solo step back. Like, I thought that was very, like, obviously you get that moment, which that beautiful shot, and he's gonna grab his blaster, and then everything happens, and then we're back in Rogue One. Yes. We're back about, like, okay, this is the rebellion. And that's when they brought again for me, like, the whole Star Wars connecting pieces together. Yes. And I was like, yes, thank you. And it just centered around a young person that sees, like, I'm tired of the Empire. I'm tired of this. I'm gonna make it happen. So let's do it.
Absolutely. It was really cool. It was really inspiring and everything, the way that character was played. I thought it was awesome that even though like, especially through A New Hope and all this other, like Han's like, I'm not joining up. I'm just doing this. Even though he was like the first contributor, monetarily wise, to the rebellion.
Right.
He's like, oh, hey, here's your first few million.
Right.
Consider this my donation.
He's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be in it.
Yeah. Like, I don't want any part of it. And then it comes full circle around. It's like, well, I don't know what happened, but I became a general. And one thing led to another. There was a pretty girl with buns. I don't know.
This guy left because I love how it was the comedy of Lando leaving them there.
Yes.
Like, oh, this guy is picking us up. Peace out.
30 guns in there.
Yes, it was great. So we were talking a lot about Kira and how she ended things with Han. I want to talk about who she spoke with.
Oh my goodness! I know so many people hated it, but
People hated it? What?
some people.
Oh
some
no!
Get out, haters.
People. I know. That's why I just ignore so many things.
Real fast.
That mutant block is.
Right.
Because, like, come on, guys. Like, he is one of my favorite characters in
Yes.
the world. One of the reasons why I fell back in love with, well, it's not that you fell out of love with Star Wars, but at least you started watching it again and you're like, oh, this is the animation and Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
His story, I was dying for it to come back somehow in the movies.
Yes.
So seeing him, I don't even want to say his name.
I just realized too we hadn't said who we're talking about yet. It's Darth Maul, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes!
Maul,
I loved it.
formerly known as Darth.
Maul. I loved it. I love that his saber was the one he uses in Clone Wars. So those are the things that I'm like,
actually.
yes,
That was his
thank
rebel
you.
saber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his robotic legs. It came out with the robotic legs, and I was like, yes! I was so excited. His storyline in Clone Wars is one of my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I always somehow end up talking about him all day, every day. So I was very excited, and I love that it was Ray Park. They brought him back.
Yes.
Um,
Ray Park and Sam Witwer voicing
Sam
it too.
Witwer,
So they ripped Sam Witwer right out of the Clone Wars and Rebels.
So I don't know. What did you guys think? I loved it.
It was awesome. It was definitely once I was kind of done with the shock, because at first I honestly didn't realize who it was until they panned around. But Danny knew. He saw the legs.
I saw the legs and I was done.
He
I was like,
he
oh my
me
god.
too.
I was like, it
like
can't
really
be. But I was
struggling
like,
in my seat because I'm shorter than him, so his arms up, and I'm like, like trying to figure out why he's freaking out. And the next thing I know, it pans over, and I'm just like, like I can't breathe either at that point because we're both just like staring in awe, like.
It's just wow.
What? Like, is this really happening? It was amazing, though. Mm-hmm. Like, it was the best twist ever. Did not expect that at all. I was wondering what that ring was going to do, and that's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, who are we calling? I was honestly expecting Jabba or something like that. Because I thought it was funny that all the trailers start off with that big shot gangster putting together a crew, and it had nothing to do with the entire movie.
that is so true. Let's put together a crew. Let's all break apart. Let's do it again. Let's not.
Just kidding. Half the crew will be killed in the first probably 20 minutes. But yeah, like, but with the Maul thing, like she said, I saw it as soon as I saw the legs, and I heard literally just the voice at all. Because I recognize Sam Witwer's voice from.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with Clone Wars because, like you said, that's what got me back into it. I didn't watch Clone Wars at all. I was like, okay, well, kid show, whatever, and that was before I really gotten deep into Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I've watched the movies all my life, but I was like, okay, well, maybe the animation, whatever. And then I saw a trailer on Cartoon Network when it was actually live playing. And it was the return of Maul, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I need to know how this happens. and then from there, I've been hooked.
Yeah. Sense. Mm-hmm. And it's just beautiful. His story, that I could talk about it forever.
Oh, yeah.
It's so beautiful. I love that they brought them both back. Mm-hmm. When now I forgot his name, the bad guy.
Dryden Voss?
Yes.
Maul's more important, that's why.
I know. I was like, I can't think of anything else. when he came out with the red saber dagger, I thought of Maul.
Ooh.
But I was like, no, it's just me being stupid because I love Maul and I just want him in every movie.
Yeah.
But there was something about the room that also I thought of Thrawn because of the so much collections. And I was like, okay, he's collecting the Mandalorian. He has this, he has that. Is this Thrawn? But then I was like, timeline. I was so confused. There were so many things happening.
Yeah.
But then it made sense because we go back to Clone Wars and how Maul was like going at like his own gang. And I was like, I need to know more.
Yeah.
I maybe not need a standalone movie because I'd rather keep it animation, but I need to know more.
Well, and I feel like Maul's entire story, as far as like his actual story that would have been a standalone movie, has been told. Like, yes, it would be cool to have him live and everything, but it would be a reiteration of the same story that technically we've had since 2009.
Exactly.
Everybody else is just now catching up.
Right.
Yeah, Filoni has done an extra job.
Exactly. But I thought it was really awesome that finally he's acknowledged in the cinematic form. And because there's always those people that I've come across where they're like, oh yeah, the animation's not canon. Oh, the cartoons don't count, whatever. Well, guess what, man? It counts.
It's like for anybody that tells me, oh, Clone Wars is for kids. And I'm like, dude, watch that episode of Maul Underground with robotic spider legs, and you tell me that's for kids. The first time I watched it, I was like, I can't go to sleep. I can't. This is too dark. Poor Maul. And then the sisters, no. It's not.
No.
I work with kids and I tell them not to like skip certain episodes depending on the age.
Right. We'll give you the fluffy ones for now.
Wait a few years.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I agree with you. Clone Wars, I mean, it gets dark. Like the longer it goes on, the darker it gets. But I mean, it's the nature of the story. Because Star Wars, like even though a lot of the movies don't show that serious of a darkness, I mean, it's not the DC universe, but I mean, you're not going to have all of that severe darkness and depression and everything, but at the same time, you get the point. And you get a lot of that in the books, and you get a lot of that in episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels and all that kind of stuff, and so it's cool seeing that. That was actually something that I really loved seeing where Chewie started out. Because even though, like, it was like, oh, it's Chewie, for me, like, it broke my heart seeing him that way. Because, I mean, in all honesty, I automatically started thinking of, like, my dog, because, I mean, that's what Chewie's based on, is George Lucas's dog. Like, I started thinking about my dog, and I was like, oh my god, like, no. I was like, get him out of there, what are you doing?
And it's just because he was such because he could have easily escaped. But he was just, like, so down on himself. He was giving up, so it made it, like, his partnership with Solo so much important because Solo gave him life again.
You're right.
So then now you understand when Chewie goes crazy when Solo dies. It just like breaks your heart even more.
That's what I said too.
He rescued his family, but he still chose to go with Han Solo at the end. So it's just those little things that you're like,
Yeah. I'm really glad that it wasn't a life debt, like everyone was theorizing, like it is in the books and everything, in the Extended Universe books. I'm glad it wasn't that, because the discussion for the longest time was, if it's the life debt, then after he died, why is he still there? Why is he hanging around and everything? But it's more than that. I mean, this is like the greatest friendship ever told. I absolutely love that. By the way, the shower scene was phenomenal. It was fantastic. Like you couldn't have waited.
Yes. And so wait, because I was talking with this to a lot of people today. Kessel Run in 12 seconds. So does that not count anymore? Because is it really 12 seconds, or is it they got a shortcut?
Yeah. well, and I thought that was funny that I actually was talking to Kristen about this yesterday. That he makes the Kessel Run in, if you round down, 12 parsecs. But the first people he's bragging to are the people that Enfys Nest were talking about had their tongue cut out and stuff like that. And so it's just like he's empty bragging. Like it's never going to go anywhere past that.
I'm going to tell you about this, which nobody else, but whatever.
I just love how Chewie like tried to call him on it too. He's like, I just made it in 12 parsecs, and he's like, what? He's like, if you round down. So, I doubt that we'll ever get the actual number for that, but
that will always be a mystery.
yeah. Well, and I think it's cool because like the whole him bragging about the Kessel Run and everything, because he does that in A New Hope. It's a very, very well known fact about Han Solo.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that it kind of goes back to Lando's thing where he's like, everything you've heard about me is true. It's almost like he took a page out of Lando's book and he's like, oh yeah, well, let me tell you all the things that are true.
Right.
That is true.
But yeah, no, I definitely loved that the charm in it, the nods to everything. I do want to address one thing. I know that we've talked about on a couple shows and everything. Boba Fett.
It was a rock.
So did you end up seeing that trailer, Anna, where everybody was freaking out about? Well, and us. Let's just go ahead and say it about the rock flying by, and it was like, oh, it's Slave One.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, like, I don't know. I'm not so happy about Boba Fett movie.
I'm not either.
So when that came out, and even like when we see the first part of the throne and you see the Mandalorian, I was trying to look carefully. I'm like, is it green? But then it's red, and I'm like, is it the guy from Clone Wars? If not, so I thought it was hilarious that the rock.
Yeah. Well, and you had a whole thing where you're like, surely they're not going to make it a rock. Well, let's just do this. They'll probably think that it is, and they'll catch it. I promise, they'll catch it.
And this whole big running joke that the people who like put it in there or just like photoshopped it, and they were like, let's just add something funny. That way we can just throw them off the trail completely. And they added it in like as like a cloud or a rock or whatever.
Yeah.
They were like, but Bob, people aren't going to catch that flying through space. Oh, yes, they will. They'll catch it. They're Star Wars fans. They'll find it. And of course, we found it. And, you know, we all freaked out, thought it was Slave One. Like, it's gotta be Boba Fett. He's in the movie somewhere.
Nothing.
I don't even, like, he said he saw the scene, but I don't remember seeing it. I remember looking for it, but I didn't remember seeing it fly, so.
I had forgotten about it until literally the second that it happened, and I was like, oh yeah, that would have been the part that was supposed to be Slave One. So we were duped.
Oh well. Maybe next movie.
But yeah. But one of our listeners actually on Instagram had pointed out that there was one scene that he thought he may have seen like the Clone Wars version of Dengar, talking to a helmeted man. It's in where they go into the bar to meet Lando.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's blink and you'll miss it. I didn't catch it until the second time.
Right.
Didn't even notice it the first time at all. But like they're passing through, about to walk up to the droid fighting cage and all that kind of stuff. Talk to Lando, and they're literally in the dark, off to like the left of the screen.
Right.
Like if you're not looking for it, you will not find it. But it's a guy who has like Dengar's turban. It's like a little different. And then there's like a green helmeted guy. It's not a Mandalorian helmet, but it could have been like Boba's earlier helmets and stuff. But I don't know. It's still a stretch. I could see the Dengar more than Boba, but
Yeah. I did see the droid that was like 85.
yes.
And then I was like, 85 is coming out? Is he going to say? But,
We still need AP5 the musical.
Yes. I will watch that before Boba Fett.
Yes, absolutely. So Anna, if you had to pick a absolute favorite moment for the entire film, what would it be?
Oh man, that's hard.
Put it on the spot.
I mean, I would have to go with either Maul or Memphis, but I don't know. Orlando.
There's so much.
It's hard. All of them. No, but I'll go with Maul.
Maul. Okay. Kristen?
I don't know either.
It's too hard.
It is really hard because there's so many good moments, and I guess mine would have to be like summed up into quit in the desk. Might have to be summed up into several. I think just about any like Han and Chewie interactions. Like I said, I really loved seeing their relationship and how it kind of started and how you look at it now in the older movies. But I just loved when anytime Han was down or something, like Chewie would just like
Yeah.
Like, his head or his arm or whatever.
Yeah.
His fuzzy arm on like his shoulder, kind of being like, "I'm here for you," and like those were my favorite moments that made me want to tear up. And then when they got in the, oh my god, no, here it is, favorite moment. So sorry, I lied. When both Han and Chewie were in the Millennium Falcon, when they first got into their pilot seats together, when Kira was like stepped back and she's like, "Chewie,
Yes.
come here."
Yes,
I was
I
like,
know you're
yes, Han, yes, because it was like they kind of cued the music and everything, and I was like, yes, it's the beginning of it.
Yep.
So,
You
yeah, I'm
actually
sorry.
did tear up at that
I
point.
did. I teared up. Like I'm telling you, I teared up every time there was like a Han and Chewie moment. Like anytime that it kind of pulled up my heartstrings, I was like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
take it.
I think I'm gonna go with you on that one because that's just like one of the best parts of the movie.
Yes.
Definitely. Mine was not Maul. Maul was up there though. Like, I mean, that can't not be a favorite. Like that's by default. Because I would have passed out if I was standing up. Like it'd have been Danny's done. Like we could go home now. I'm good. But no, I think Han and Chewie for sure. I liked their first meeting in the pit. Han and the Beast.
That was really great.
I love that, the shower scene. I really liked the Sabacc matches
those were really good
with
too.
Lando and Han.
Yeah.
Especially when we find out that Lando cheated.
I love it, but then it's so Lando, so it's like yes. I did want to say that I was kind of disappointed that there was no more Lando. Like I felt like they brought it up so much in the trailers, but then there was so many little times I'm like, there should have been way more.
Right.
Yeah, I feel that way. I feel like they should have given us a little bit more, but I do feel like the little bit we got from him, it definitely counted. Like it felt like
and
he
he
made
did
it
a
count.
great job.
But yeah,
I want to read the Calrissian Chronicles. We need that book.
Yes.
Now.
that was funny.
That was amazing that he's writing his own memoirs.
I know, like staring at him, like just be Lando.
It's me. No.
I love it. Dear Diary, it's Lando again.
The stupid kid destroyed my ship. It was actually right before that too one day, so never mind.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that was it. I loved that. Lando was amazing. I mean, it was all awesome for me. I can't wait to see it again. And one thing I haven't said in this show, I want a sequel for this. I've never felt that way about like the Star Wars stories and stuff like. Which I mean, Rogue One's kind of final. Like,
You think?
There's no sequel happening there.
Unfortunately.
The sequel is A New Hope. That's the sequel.
Right.
But with the Solo one, like I feel like there's so many questions that were raised. There was so much story that was like, I didn't even know that was going on. Let's talk more about it and everything.
Yeah.
Like I want to see. Well, I mean, I doubt we'll get more of Enfys Nest, but I want to see more of Enfys Nest. I want to see Maul be the big bad for Han, be the one that he runs into because it's never mentioned before. We've never seen those two actually cross paths, and I feel like that would be absolutely amazing if they did. To find out how he talks his way out of that one with Maul.
Yeah.
Can
Because he's supposed to act with 2 more movies, right? Alden?
Yeah, Alden signed for 3 movies. Now, I wish that meant more because Jen Erso, Felicity Jones, signed for 3 movies as well. And well, unless she gets a cameo somewhere, that's not happening. But yeah.
Yeah, because then I was like, does that count Forces of Destiny? Because she's
Right.
there. Does that mean
thinking
to pay
that.
for Alden?
Well, maybe.
Loophole.
No, but I would love to see like Kira and Maul and then Solo in there.
Yeah.
It is as messed up as it would be. I want to see Han confront Kira as Kira actually is, where he realizes, okay, I know who you are, and maybe that's where the I've got a bad feeling about this comes out, and that pessimist is what comes out instead of who he is, full of hope and everything. Because at that point, I feel like if he actually saw Kira for who she was, that would be the moment that it just dashes everything. That he's like, cool, now I know I can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I feel like there was still hope in him at the end of this one.
Yeah.
It didn't feel final to me at all.
And he was still super young compared to like the first time we see him in Tatooine. And if this is the job that they talked about in Tatooine, then there's a gap,
Yeah.
big gap. I'm like, were you fighting something between there?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out more in the Jabba solo movie. No, I'm just teasing.
I want that.
Jabba, a Star Wars story.
Not that. I want Jabba though, because if we get Jabba, we're gonna get Boba Fett. I feel like so. I feel like
Yeah.
it's just gonna go like in this great order, and we're just gonna get all these amazing movies that I know I want. I don't care if y'all don't want them or not, but I want them.
Yeah.
The whole who asked for this argument, it just needs to go away.
People are still like, I didn't ask for this.
Doesn't matter.
We don't care. We enjoyed it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Go be a
No, we
bump on
definitely
wall.
loved it. So final thoughts. Anyone? Anybody have any final thoughts on the movie or anything like that you want to add before we close it out?
Hmm.
Cool.
We talked so much.
I mean, I think we really dissected a lot of it.
We did.
Which I mean, I'm sure this isn't the final conversation by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, no.
But now I feel freer that we've gotten this out.
Yes. Weight has been lifted off. Y'all, it's Maul! It's Maul!
Mom! I just want to scream and post it like, Mom!
Yes. That's all the show notes are gonna say in this. Just mom.
Exactly.
But the thing is that he's gonna be in SuperCon here in July, so I'm just like waiting. I'm like, can I please just talk to you about the last movie?
Right?
So I'm so excited. I must say that I loved how they continued doing all the female empowerment characters. I still feel like I mean, I love that seeing little girls, and I can't wait to see little girls dress up as Memphis Nest. Me
Awesome.
too.
I need that helmet.
Yeah, but I liked it. I mean, even though I had some little issues, it was catered to fans. I genuinely enjoyed it. Action-packed movie, which is more of the style that we see in the cartoons that we talked about. So
Right.
it was really nice. And I love Lando,
Yes.
and I wanted more, but it's okay.
I feel like we should have a Lando Star Wars story before Boba Fett.
Yes.
How did you get to Cloud City, sir?
Not opposed.
Just call it the Calrissian Chronicles. I'm down with that.
No, he's gonna just like, it's gonna be a memoir
Yes.
story. He's just gonna play it out for all of us.
Absolutely. Just have him like almost like Star Trek wise, where he's like star date something. It's like this month I rated this and this and this, and me and L3 went on this adventure. Like, I mean, I would love that. The adventure of the week kind of thing. Maybe that can be our TV show, Jon Favreau.
Right?
Probably not, but still.
Maybe.
But yeah, so no, I absolutely loved it as well. I definitely want to see it again and again and again. Rogue One has always been one of my favorite Star Wars movies. This
Same
is
here.
like right up there for me. Like the Star Wars story ones for me have been a lot more fun than the saga ones. Not saying, I mean, in comparison, like I still love the saga ones. Like,
Guys.
yeah, right. But no, I mean, I still love the saga ones, but it's like, I don't know, it's a different love and everything. It's like love one spot, love two spot, like they're really close. But anyway, but yeah, but no, I really, really enjoy the Star Wars story ones. I hope that the quote unquote flop of Solo,
my butt.
it does, yeah. I hope that doesn't hinder any Star Wars stories for the future or anything like that, because I absolutely love
Doubt
these
it.
side stories and everything. I feel like it just brings a lot more life to the universe. So,
Yeah.
Kristen?
I don't really have anything else to say, honestly. It's a great movie. Go see it if you haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. So, I did it.
It's okay.
So, Anna, can you tell everybody where to find you?
Okay, so you guys can find me at Instagram, Facebook, and my website at Le Geeky Life. And I also run a podcast called Roundtable Pod Racers on YouTube. But just check out my Instagram. I'll have all the info there.
Yes, guys, definitely check her out. She's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of cool stuff. Definitely check her blog out and everything. We've been excited about talking solo with you for quite some time. So
Yes.
Yeah, I was excited too. I was like, finally I could talk.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
very excited. I do have a question for you. For your Memphis Nest costume, are you gonna be like putting pictures on Instagram showing us like what you're doing, or is it gonna be like a big reveal?
I want to do that. The thing is that I'm not crafty, so I'm not. So I might. I've already been talking to one of my friends today that she sews and everything. That I'm like, I need this for celebration. So, but I am hoping to do kind of like posting it because there's nothing on the web yet. So it's gonna be like a lot of like I need help.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things like I'm working on that one, and then I have one that will be surprised, but I need help with emphasis because it's a lot. I'm just like seeing pictures of her headpiece, and I was just like, how am I gonna see through that little line?
It's not about functionality, it's about looking good.
Right. Awesome. I look forward to following it on your Instagram.
Thank you.
Seeing you, hopefully.
Absolutely. And we'll see you at Celebration for sure.
Yes, we have to have a meetup.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
most definitely.
Absolutely. So, guys, you can check us out at Kessel Run Weekly on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, KesselRunWeekly.com for all our past episodes, future episodes, all the things. You can even reach us on our website, KesselRunWeekly.com, with a little contact form. Ask us your questions, show suggestions, anything like that. Let us know how we're doing and everything. We love hearing from you guys. And Anna, thank you so much for joining us. This has been so much fun.
It was. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll have to have you back sometime in the future for sure.
Yes, animations.
Yes, absolutely. So cool, guys. So again, thank you for listening, watching, however you're getting this. Rate and review us if you so feel inclined. We would really appreciate it. Until next time, my name is Danny,
I'm Kristen.
and may the force be with you.
Always.